Hey guys, welcome to Bipolar Boxing Picks. My name's Nick. We just got done watching Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou. I got the AC cranking because I was sweating my ass off during that fucking decision. It was a close fight, guys. It was a close fight. I scored it 96-93 for Fury. I wouldn't argue for the 95-94 scorecard for Ngannou. That was the scorecard I was worried about. I thought it could be scored that way. When I was scoring in my head, I do how I would score it, but I also certain rounds where there wasn't a lot going on, which was pretty much the whole fight, you got to go away from like the first criteria in boxing that you score on is clean punching. There wasn't a lot of that going on here. If it was definitely more Fury landing cleaner punches than Ngannou. But there was a lot of rounds where you couldn't go with clean punching to judge the round. So you got to go to the other things like defense is a criteria. Everyone forgets about that criteria. Defense is a criteria. Effective aggressiveness is a criteria, but ring generalship is the other one. So I think Ngannou or Fury won a lot of those that criteria in each of the rounds, pretty much. He did enough to win that fight when you're judging by that criteria. The one thing you can get confused about is like Ngannou was coming forward. Some people see that as aggression. It's not the way it's scored. It's effective aggression, and he wasn't effective enough. But I mean, I can't take anything away from Ngannou. Like, shout out to that guy. Shout out to Dewey Cooper. They did a fantastic job. I mean, I can't believe Ngannou went the full 10 rounds. He was in great shape. He was pacing himself a little bit throughout the fight. But, I mean, what the fuck do you want? Like, the guy's never thrown a fucking punch in his life in a boxing ring. And he gets in there and does it against, arguably, I'll say, the best heavyweight in the world. I pick Usyk, but, arguably the best heavyweight in the world. And, I mean, this was just a shit performance from Tyson Fury. And I mean, he's got nobody to blame but himself for the backlash he's going to get. I mean, I would say that Usyk should be licking his chops right now, but Tyson Fury is a very egotistical dude. Like, he's going to look at this. He's going to see everybody's going to be hating on him for this. There's going to be a lot of people saying that Ngannou beat him. I mean, he won a decision against Tyson Fury. There's going to be a lot of people saying that. I'm interested to get on social media and see how everyone scored that fight, because let me tell you, the casuals, the novice boxing fans, pretty much all the ones who actually bought this fight, I think they're going to score it for Ngannou, especially with the knockdown, because they don't know how boxing scored. But and I know how boxing scored, and I still could have scored it for Ngannou. I didn't, but I mean, I could see it. I could see it. But Ngannou, like Fury, like, you got nobody to blame from yourself. Like, you took this shit fight, you did it for money, you were selfish, and now you got. I mean, the guy didn't have a lot of fans before this fight. I mean, he's gonna have next to none now. And on top of that, everyone's like, he lost his aura. He had this aura that he had when he came back from his retirement. When he after he beat Klitschko, and he had this aura that like you can't knock him out because Deontay Wilder couldn't finish him. He can outbox anybody. How do you beat this guy? Well, he almost just lost a decision to Francis Ngannou, and I've been saying this for about 6 years now about Tyson Fury. I want to see how he does against a guy who can box. He hasn't fought anybody that can box worth a shit. Dillian White can't box worth a shit. Like, he's a top 10 heavyweight, I'll give him that. Derek Short cannot box worth a shit. Like, that's not how these guys win fights. They don't win it by outpointing decent boxers. Deontay Wilder can't box for shit. Otto Wallin might be the best pure boxer that he's faced in the last 7 years. Like, that's pathetic. And this is what happens when you don't fight good fighters. Everyone shit on Anthony Joshua just because he lost to Andy Ruiz and Alexander Usyk. I got news for you. Those two guys are better than anybody that Fury's faced in the last 7 years. Okay? That might seem like a hot take, but that's what I believe. Deontay Wilder ain't that fucking good. Especially if he can't knock you out, he's worthless. He's worthless. He ain't winning a decision against nobody. So, That's the problem I've always had with Fury. And I mean, look, guys, he just almost lost a decision to a guy that's never stepped in a boxing ring before. Do you think that AJ would have had this much trouble with Francis Ngannou? Like, I hate to be the, guy talking the shit after the fight, but do you really think so? Do you really think if Ngannou and AJ decided to fight next, AJ wouldn't knock that fucking guy out in 4 rounds? Do you really think Usyk wouldn't steal every single round from Ngannou? Like, I'm sorry, dude, but Fury brought all this shit on himself. And I mean, I'd like to say he's such an egotistical guy that he's gonna get better from this because he's gonna get a lot of hate. He's gonna get a lot of hate from his, I've been hating on him ever since he retired. I loved the guy before he beat Klitschko. I said he would beat Klitschko, even though he was a 6-1 underdog in that fight. But he's a different guy now. You can't just step away from boxing, and you can't keep doing this shit where you're avoiding everybody in the heavyweight division besides Deontay Wilder, who, like I said, can't box his way out of a fucking paper bag. That shit don't work no more. Now you have to fight Usyk. It's the only fight left. So either retire or fight Alexander Usyk. That's it. If you retire, everyone's gonna fucking hate you. And if you fight Usyk, I got news for you. You're probably gonna fucking lose a decision. So you lost tonight, even though you won. You lost tonight. You lost fans. You got your money. Good for you. But your legacy is gonna take a hit, dude. And it's gonna take an even bigger hit when Alexander Usyk wipes the floor with you, especially after that performance. Now we're going to be looking at Fury. And you can't say that he's too old. You can't say any of that. He's only 35 years old. He doesn't fight very often. I mean, there's no excuses for him to put on that poor of a performance. I know this video is a lot more about Tyson Fury, but and I can't say enough about Francis Ngannou and what a great job him and Dewey Cooper did. I love Dewey Cooper as an MMA trainer. He's part of that. He hangs around at the Mayweather gym all the time. I always see him in Ellie Setbacks videos and shit. He's a cool dude. He knows what he's doing, and he did a great job with Francis Ngannou. And I don't know where the fuck Mike Tyson was. He was in the fucking crowd somewhere. Everyone was talking about how he was training, Francis Ngannou. No, behind the scenes, Dewey Cooper was the one doing the training. And, God, I mean, shout out to them. But the fight, it was kind of underwhelming to me. I mean, ESPN, I know they got a job to do there as commentators. But, I mean, come on, it wasn't that good of a fight. And even for nowadays heavyweights, you don't get a lot of good fights. It's got some, it had the knockdown in there, but that was pretty much it. That was like Fury Wilder 1 almost, but it was more competitive, if you can believe that. That's how poor of a boxer Deontay Wilder is. So, I don't know what else to say, but this fight was bad for boxing. It really was. I'm a huge boxing purist guy. I don't mind these fights. It's just when they happen. I don't mind that Jake Paul fights MMA fighters. The guy's only been fighting for 3 fucking years. That's fine. Tyson Fury, you can't do that when you're the heavyweight champion of the world. It puts you in a lose-lose situation. I get it, man. Money is the only reason you took the fight. That's fine. But don't be mad at people like me when we shit on you and people are shitting on your legacy because of this fight, because that's what you throw away for going after money grabs. The difference between Floyd and him is Floyd did it way at the end of his career and he actually knocked the fucking guy out. He tried to carry him. He backed himself up into the ropes and let Conor hit him a few times. But when he wanted to step his foot on the gas, he didn't. You can tell Floyd trained for that fight. Floyd didn't overlook Conor. He did whatever the fuck he wanted to do. And it worked out. Tyson Fury couldn't do that. At some point in the 5th round or so, I was like, all right, Tyson, quit fucking around with this dude. Because I don't think he was hurt during that knockdown. I mean, it was a flash knockdown. Tyson Fury overswung with one of his punches. He was off balance, and Ngannou hit him with a perfect left hook counter, I believe it was. And Ngannou was trying to land that all night. So him and Dewey Cooper must have knew that Fury was circling. Tim Bradley pointed out one time during the fight, Fury was circling towards Ngannou's right hand, or left hand because he's southpaw. He was circling towards his power hand. But Ngannou hit him with a hook off of a counter with his jab hand, I believe. I have to go back and rewatch that. But it was a perfect counter. And I mean, I think Fury was just surprised. That's not how he would have fought a normal boxer. That's another. The only pass that I will give Fury is it's pretty difficult to fight these guys who haven't boxed their whole life because they haven't been boxing their whole life, and you don't know how they're going to fight. You can train yourself the way that I can counter with this because as a boxer, if he throws this punch, you know this is coming. Like, you don't know any of that. You don't have any tape on this guy. That's the only pass that I will give Tyson Fury. But you should have enough talent. Like they always say, like hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And that's exactly what almost happened tonight. You should have enough talent in you to put your foot on the gas, stand in the middle of that fucking ring, and go knock out Francis Ngannou. I don't care how big he is. You should have been able to do that. And you didn't. So I can't say anything else about this fight, guys. I mean, it was a kind of a shit fight. It was underwhelming. Nothing good about this whole card. I mean, there was a bunch of fucking... The whole undercard was just a bunch of overmatched opponents. The Makhmudov guy was a 50-1 favorite. Joseph Parker was like 15-1. That Moses Atuma guy was 30-something to 1. Like, the whole card was just shit. In the Fabio Wardley fight, I mean, that was the only one that kind of delivered. And Fabio Wardley did very well in that fight. I'd like him as a heavyweight. I think he could be, he's definitely going to be a top 10 guy, you know, hanging around there for a while. And he could make some noise in the heavyweight division. But other than that, guys, I mean, glad Tyson Fury got the win for the sport of boxing because we would have took a big hit had he not got that decision. But I could completely, and I'm going to agree with a lot of people that are going to be on social media saying that Tyson Fury lost this fight. I could see it that way. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Let me know who you guys scored, and let me know who you think wins Usyk and Fury now. Let's see what you guys got to say.